the wait is finally starting to feel real because Beyond the Spider-Verse finally has some of the biggest first-look updates we've seen in months. And what's coming is about to change everything we thought we knew about this movie. We're talking official confirmations, casting announcements, other live-action Spider-Mans joining, and production details that reveal this film is pushing boundaries even further than Across the Spider-Verse did. But those aren't even the only new updates we have. First up, the most game-changing news that just dropped. Beyond the Spider-Verse is officially getting a full IMAX release with an expanded aspect ratio, and this is massive because it's the first Spider-Verse film to get this treatment. Producer Chris Miller himself confirmed this in just recently, responding to a fan question with an enthusiastic "heck yeah" when asked if the film would expand the aspect ratio for IMAX. What does this actually mean for fans? While Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse played in IMAX theaters, they used traditional widescreen formatting with black bars at the top and bottom of the screen. Beyond the Spider-Verse will utilize the full 1.431 IMAX ratio, meaning the entire screen will be filled with the film's groundbreaking animation. This isn't just a technical upgrade, it's a statement about how Sony and the filmmakers view this conclusion. They're prepping this movie especially for large format screens because they know what they've created looks absolutely insane. And yes, there's a twist coming you probably didn't expect. We have more crazy news about the cast and villains, but this isn't even as crazy as the release date situation we'll talk about later. Speaking of villains, Beyond the Spider-Verse just added its 7th confirmed antagonist. And this casting reveals something fascinating about how Sony is connecting its animated and live-action Spider-Man universes. Marvin Jones III, who voiced Tombstone in Into the Spider-Verse, is officially returning for Beyond the Spider-Verse. But that's not even the craziest part. Jones was simultaneously cast as Tombstone in the live-action Spider-Man Brand New Day film starring Tom Holland. This marks the first time an actor will play the same villain in both Sony's animated Spider-Verse and the live-action MCU Spider-Man franchise. Tombstone, also known as Lonnie Thompson Lincoln, is one of New York's most vicious crime lords, a massive African-American albino with filed teeth and nearly indestructible skin. In Into the Spider-Verse, he appeared as one of Kingpin's loyal henchmen. And since he survived that film, his return in Beyond the Spider-Verse makes perfect sense. The real question fans are asking now, will we see Tombstone as part of Earth 42's Sinister Six cartel? We'll come back to that Sinister Six situation. We have more crazy news about the cast that nobody's talking about enough. And this could be game-changing for the entire franchise. Andrew Garfield, yes, the amazing Spider-Man himself, has been dropping major hints that he wants in on the Spider-Verse action in a significant way. In October 2025, interviews with MTV's Josh Horowitz, when asked directly about which superhero crossovers or team-ups he'd be interested in pursuing for his version of Spider-Man, Garfield specifically called out the Spider-Verse movies and said he really loves them, loves Phil Lord and Chris Miller as filmmakers, and is just putting that desire out there into the universe for everyone to hear. Now, technically, Garfield already appeared in Across the Spider-Verse through archival footage from The Amazing Spider-Man during that incredible sequence showcasing all the different Spider-People across the multiverse, but him actively campaigning to be part of Beyond the Spider-Verse in a more substantial voice acting role has fans going absolutely wild with speculation about what character he could play or how he'd fit into the story. A Marvel Insider account even responded to social media posts about Garfield's comments suggesting he will appear in the film in some capacity, though nothing has been officially confirmed by Sony Pictures yet. The interesting timing here is that Beyond the Spider-Verse is still actively in production right now, and presumably has room to add cameos or additional voice work before they lock the final cut, which makes Garfield's public interest incredibly tantalizing for what could actually happen. Now for Earth 42's biggest threat. Reports say the Sinister Six cartel has taken over New York City in Earth 42, operating virtually uncontested without Spider-Man to stop them. J. Jonah Jameson's news broadcast in Across the Spider-Verse mentioned the mayor establishing a curfew due to turf wars caused by the Sinister Six cartel. While the specific members haven't been officially confirmed, concept art from Across the Spider-Verse heavily teased that a version of the Sinister Six from Earth 42 will play a role in Beyond the Spider-Verse. The art of the movie book published by Sony Pictures Animation confirmed that the Sinister Six have been able to flourish and take over. Let me know what you guys think about this. Here's another major reveal that fans need to hear. Haley Steinfeld, who voices Spider-Gwen, recently confirmed she said Miles' name so many times during recording sessions that they probably have a whole library of sound bites. She mentioned recording the word Miles in countless different ways and tones, which heavily suggests Gwen's feelings for Miles will be a significant emotional thread running through Beyond the Spider-Verse. The CinemaCon footage also showed Miles and Gwen riding a motorcycle together while the Spot destroys buildings around them. There isn't actual footage of this being released because it's exclusive. Fans who saw the footage believe this scene happens during an intense battle sequence, possibly after Miles and Gwen have already reconciled, with Gwen driving and Miles holding on as they navigate the chaos. Now let's talk about what you're probably wondering: when will we actually see this movie? The release date for Beyond the Spider-Verse has shifted multiple times, but the latest update is actually good news. The film is now set to release on June 18, 2027. which is 1 week earlier than its previous June 25, 2027 date. This new date lands on Father's Day weekend and covers the Juneteenth holiday, which historically has been a rich time for animated movies. The film will arrive in IMAX and premium formats, landing 1 week after Universal's live-action How to Train Your Dragon sequel and on the same day as Disney Pixar's Gato. To put the delays in perspective, Beyond the Spider-Verse was originally scheduled for March 29, 2024, meaning fans have waited over 3 years beyond the initial date. But production updates have been mixed, and this is where things get a bit concerning for fans eager to see the movie sooner. Does this mean production is behind schedule? Not necessarily. The Spider-Verse trilogy uses multiple animation styles to represent various Earths, requiring significantly more time and effort than average animated features. Additionally, voice actors don't need to record simultaneously, they can perform their lines individually at different times. So Jerome not having recorded yet doesn't mean other cast members haven't. In fact, Shamik Moore revealed through Instagram in August 2025 that he has begun recording lines. There have been conflicting reports about whether Beyond the Spider-Verse underwent major creative changes behind the scenes. Insider Jeff Snyder reported in September 2024 that Sony scrapped much of the existing work on Beyond due to creative reasons. However, composer Daniel Pemberton quickly dismissed this report, asking on Twitter if people would believe that stuff on the internet might not always be particularly accurate. Producer Chris Miller also jumped on Twitter to clarify that nothing has been scrapped and the reels are coming along nicely. Another report from Face Hero Podcast in November 2024 suggested that Sony didn't have the ending when they decided to restart the threequel script, implying some truth to the reworking rumors. With Sony not officially commenting on these reports, the actual state of production remains somewhat mysterious to outsiders. What we do know for certain, the filmmakers Phil Lord, Bob Persichetti, and Justin K. Thompson addressed the longer-than-expected wait at CinemaCon 2025, saying they couldn't just run it back and needed to take the time to make sure they got it just right. Phil Lord promised this would be a massive finale to the trilogy that's meant for the biggest screens, with the creative team crafting what they feel is a very satisfying ending. Bob Persichetti, who co-directed the first Spider-Verse movie, and Justin K. Thompson, who co-directed the second Spider-Verse movie, are both returning to direct Beyond the Spider-Verse. The filmmaking team emphasized that storytelling remains at the center of all their visual innovation, with the film exploring personal stakes for Miles and his allies while delving deeper into themes of belonging and self-discovery. Expect the film to raise the bar yet again with even more ambitious visuals and an expanded palette of animation styles to differentiate the many worlds Miles will traverse. Reports say Beyond the Spider-Verse will pick up immediately after Across the Spider-Verse ended, with Miles on the run as a fugitive from Spider-People across the multiverse. Miles may not be able to rely on his friends to help him save his family, though Gwen is determined to prove him wrong by assembling her rescue team. The film will explore how Miles navigates the entirely new, uncharted alternate dimension of Earth 42, while racing against time to return to Earth 1610 to save his father from the Spot. How will Miles escape the grasp of Uncle Aaron and the Prowler? How will Gwen's team locate him across infinite universes? Will Miguel O'Hara and the Spider Society eventually help Miles, or will they remain antagonists until the very end? And most importantly, can Miles break his canon event and save his father without destroying the multiverse in the process? The June 18, 2027 release date is still over a year and a half away, but with production continuing and the creative team promising a satisfying ending that honors everything fans love about this trilogy, I will be covering every trailer drop, every casting announcement, and every detail that emerges about this epic conclusion to the Spider-Verse trilogy. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.